Nowadays, especially in the developed countries, for example, the U.S., it's so tragic that every day it seems that there is accident, tragedy, or murder or shooting. Actually, before coming to the U.S., I'm so scared to visit the U.S. I never think of coming to the U.S. because every day the news in Hong Kong always broadcast about the shooting, the murder in schools, in churches, or anywhere. So it seems quite scary, right, to be living here. And when I am have been here for a few years. Also, I heard from the news, I read from the post about those natural disaster, those tragedies, those traffic accidents, and also those shootings. So it seems every day there is at least one tragedy throughout the whole U.S. So of course, the U.S. is so big, right? The has such an immense area. So even though every day there are a few accidents happening, the place I'm living is still safe. That means actually not the whole U.S. But because the country is so bad, lots of areas. So even a few accidents one day, it only is restricted to certain areas, certain locations, but still quite a lot. And then just a few days ago, we heard about the shooting in Marital. So happened in the church. It's so tragic that they are actually worshiping their God in a mass of a Catholic church inside the school. So even when the shooters has already shot some children, those are still alive, they are still praying. And then we know about something about this shooter, even though some new press cover the background of this shooter, we still know what kind of person this shooter is. We also know why he has that evil plan to shoot not only the innocent, but he intentionally chose the children to shoot. Maybe he hates the children, maybe he found the children are so weak, not able to resist or defend themselves, or he found there is no security force to protect them, maybe. So we just feel so tragic that that kind of shooting will have happened inside church. And there is no hate between the shooter and the children. They are just 8 to 12 years old. And then the two victims killed is only 8 years old and 10 years old. So what makes an adult to shoot some children? And then it seems that he just fire at the children for quite a number of shootings. That's why so many hurt. We thank God that only 2 killed actually. When such kind of evil person intentionally shoot at the children with many rounds, only 2 killed. Of course, we pray that those hurt, those wounded, will be healed by God. And we have heard some good news that some victims have already recovered. So far, I haven't heard about any more death. Then that is really a good news in this bad news. So we all know that the background of this shooter. Some news have tried to expose the details of his background. He is transgender, and then no wonder when I look at the post about the shooter, it seems that he is a lady, is a girl, a woman. Very clearly, you can see that this person is a female. But the post said that he, and then usually we don't expect a lady to shoot at the children. So I wonder, is this the shooter or the victims? Okay, and then in the beginning, when this news was exposed, this person is a transgender. His mom comes out not to say sorry, not to regret for his child. His I don't want to mention son or daughter. Right? He comes out to ask the public not to address her child as he or she, I forgot. Okay, even cannot make sure that whether whether a man or a female now, like after transgender. That we know that he is transgender, and that his mom only comes out not to say regret, not to feel sorry, not to ask for forgiveness. He asks people not to address him as his original sex, but adjust this child as his transgender sex. So it seems that we all know that one person who come out to be a transgender person doesn't claim any responsibility for her child's shooting. Okay, she has never mentioned a word of regret or ask for forgiveness or blame her own child, or at least you can blame the education or the medical. If she is innocent about her transgender status, she can blame the medical, blame the hospital that they encourage her child to change the sex, right? But so far I haven't heard about that. The clueless daddy only mentioned that because he suffers from a romance breaking up. Alright, maybe this person lost the lover. Okay, lost the romance. I think that it is correct for Trump to restore the two sexes of human beings, at least of the citizens in the U.S. He only admit two sexes of the U.S. people. There are only two sexes, okay, male and female. No transgender, no between, okay, no biological male, but actually now the status is female, or not biological female, but now the status is male. No, that kind of in between or mixed or transgender. Only male and female. That's good, because Trump believes in Jesus Christ, and the U.S. The Christianity is the religion of the U.S. people. At least they build up the country based on Christianity. The Constitution also is made on the basis of on the belief on the faith of Christianity, and the U.S. is still a Christian country now. Most people are still Christian. So it is good to restore to the original belief, original faith, that the Bible only create two sexes, man and woman. The Old Testament, Genesis, the chapter of Genesis tells the whole world that God create man, and then he create woman from the bones of the man to help him to become a couple. Okay, so that is the origin of the human beings with two sexes. Only the word sodomy, nowadays we use sodomy to describe the homosexuality. Actually, it is like an ancient city mentioned in the Old Testament of the Bible. It's a city destroyed by God for his wickedness, for his evilness, especially in homosexuality. So we know that start from the beginnings of Judaism, which is the origin of Christianity. Start from the early chapters of the Bibles. We already it is stated clearly that homosexuality will be destroyed by God. So if we believe in Christianity, we believe in God, in the triune God, in the God Creator, okay, then we cannot accept any form besides of these two sexes, any status out of these two sexes, because in the creation there are only two sexes, and then God asked these two sexes to unite as one, and then to produce generations after generation. And then for many years, we also know that there are many already many generations passed. Mostly there are still two sexes, but in development of mankind's history, we don't know exactly when, but at least the earliest reference to homosexuality is already at least 4,000 years, okay, around 4,000 years in the Old Testament, about the ancient city, which the homosexuality is already quite common at that time, especially in that city, destroyed for this evilness. So actually, homosexuality already start when human beings have commit sins. Okay, when sins enters into this world created by God, sins already take the forms of homosexuality. So we should know that sin and homosexuality actually from the very beginning, in the Christian belief, they already come together. So we have no surprise that nowadays when the world becomes more and more evil, when the people turns more evil and evil, people will commit themselves in homosexuality, commit themselves in transgender, commit themselves in hatred, commit themselves in killing, in shooting, in any wickedness. Of course, the city, the city will be destroyed if it allows this evilness of homosexuality to become dominant, or to continue, or at least, or even to be present. Okay, God won't like this kind of stuff. God won't allow people to change the gender, because God's creation, there has no transgender. Okay, God's creation is that is a male and female only. Okay, so of course, those people who claim that they have the right to change their status because they were born to be abnormal. They can't accept their status as male or female. They just don't feel comfortable. They just want to change their status, okay, from male to female, or from female to male, or even neutral, okay. It seems that biologically and the existing status, it seems that confusing and not really just one sex. And so when the press talks about this incident, this tragedy, this shooting, some press tend to cover up this shooter's background because they support transgender, okay? But some won't support, and then they will try to expose the background. Of course, this is evil, but I don't think that the focus should be on whether he is this person is transgender or not. I think the focus will be on why the hatred will turn a person into a shooter, especially shooting those children, those innocent children, those young children. When you look at the children, usually we find them so cute, so lovely. We want to protect them, or we want to love them, we want to hug them, we want to protect them, right? But now some people want to kill them. They intentionally choose some children to shoot, and then especially when they are in worship. That means there is also a worship. There is also a religion hatred here. Okay, or even involve politics, because someone who is against the present president, the present administration, who wants to restore the U.S. into the track of traditional, conventional Christian belief. Then some people who is already astray from it, they just don't want to see this trend. They want to stop it. They want to attack it. They want to destroy it. So the hatred turns them to destroy those who are faithful in God, faithful in their faith, especially faithful in Christianity. So no wonder that nowadays those faithful Christians will face challenges, persecution, attacks, arrest, murder, or any sort of violence, because nowadays the world is evil. The world is full of evilness. So of course those Christians who choose to be faithful, it is not only a choice, it's called, it is inspired, it is blessed by God, that they can understand the faith, they can understand eternal is more than the existing world. So they will choose to obey God, to worship God, instead of to be evil, or to live a life without God, to live a life without faith, or to live a life against what is told in the Bible, what is taught in their faith. So I think that of course that shooter's background has problem, or maybe more background will be exposed, that how he was how this person was brought up, how the shooter come to a status that who take the transgender journey, and then how he how that person become a hater, a Trump hater, or even Christian hater, or even Jesus hater, or even children hater. That's why he choose. That's why that person, that shooter, choose to kill the children. Maybe because of the feeling of children hatred. So how come the world turns so evil that an adult, a young adult, no matter male or female transgender, will have such kind of deep hatred that you won't pardon the children? If you are Trump hater, you are a Christian hater, there are many people for you to choose to shoot, but you choose to shoot those children. Of course, you can say that that shooter is a coward. To choose the children, of course, are easier to do it, and then that person will find I'm so great. I can kill so many children, and then they scream, they are so helpless, and then they can't protect themselves, and then they are they are facing his violence, so they can stop his violence. So that make him maybe satisfied, make him feel make the shooter feel great. Maybe that's why the shooter chose the children. So we feel sorry for the children, for the parents, for the school, for the church, for the U.S. and for the whole world. I heard that the children in the U.S. have to learn how to protect themselves, how to react in case violence happen, shooting happen, murder happen. I feel so sad that the children so young, they should know how to play or just how to study, but they learn how to escape from violence, from murder, from shooting. Oh my God, should such young children need to face that kind of tragedy, what kind of world they are living in, what kind of world the evils have turned the beautiful world from God into such kind of evil world that even the children cannot have safety. Even the children in worship, in the mass, in the school, in the developed U.S. country, they still face that kind of tragedy. Not to mention those communist countries, those poor countries, those non-Christian countries that they face terrorism or anti-Christianity, something like that. So we can only pray. After the incident, the principal asked the public to pray, and then maybe one of the newspaper said that, oh, at that time we should not ask for prayer, because prayer is not important. Prayer is no use. We need to cure the children, or we need to do investigation or what. Of course, praying is important to the U.S., to the Christian people, to the church, right? When the principal of a Catholic school, when some changes happen, it's normal for him to come out to ask for prayer. If he doesn't come out for prayer, I think the Christian, the Catholics, or even Trump will not pardon him. Okay, the community who is still mainly Christians or Catholic will not pardon him. So it's natural. But some prayer, some people will come out to say that at that time we should not ask for prayer. Prayer can coexist with investigation, right? Ask the public to pray. It doesn't mean that we don't try to save the children. We don't try our best to heal the children, to comfort them, to take care of them, or to put those people responsible. It doesn't. It is not contradictory, right? But to pray is so important to the Christian believers, right? So you can see that nowadays what kind of world we are in. Even in a Christian country like the U.S., before Trump's administration, even the public school won't allow the student or teacher to pray in the public or even in the assembly, to read the Bibles or to pray. So you can see that how evil, how horrible that the devils have turned even a Christian U.S. country into that kind of status, especially a few months ago, 1 year ago, that they cannot even pray in the public. Even nowadays, when the president is trying to put back to the track of traditional belief, Christian belief, still some people will come out to say that, oh, we should not ask for prayer. So you can imagine what happened. I'm glad that most of the U.S. people will still stick to their belief, stick to their Christianity, stick to their trust in God, in Jesus. Of course, those devils, those belong to Satan's, they won't give up, they won't stop. So actually, there should be an awakening from the U.S. Christians. You must stand up. You must try your best to combat this trend of evilness. You must work with the one who would like to put the U.S. Back into the right track of Christianity, of Christian belief, of Christian practice. Put back to the practice of the Bible truth. No matter how this world change, no matter how evil this world is developing into, but the Christian country, under Christian leadership, with most Christians, you must um, be awakened to protect your faith, to protect your Bible belief, to combat anything against your belief, against your Christianity. Of course, not in an evil way, not in a violent way, but in a biblical way, in a loving way, but sure in an orderly way, in a way that that be supported by law, by constitution, by legislature, by security, by basic belief, basic Christian practice. So pray that God will protect the U.S. when there is a trend to go back to the right track of Christianity. Even though the devil will still fight back, the evil person will still fight back because they hate that. They hate this trend. They hate the going back to the right track. They hate the trend to go against their evil thought, their evil practice. Okay, even though they claim that this is the right of people, this is the right of liberalism, this is the right of modernization. No, so far the U.S. is a Christian country. So far, most of the people here are still Christians. They should have the right. I talk about right here. We should talk about the right. It is the right of most people here. It's the right of the Christian country to proclaim their faith, to turn back to the right track, to practice their belief, their what told in the Bible, what taught in the Bible, to follow Jesus' love. All right, not any evilness, not anything against the preaching of Jesus Christ, the love, the sacrifice, the salvation of Jesus Christ. So may God bless the U.S., bless every people. It's a time of awakening. It's a time of coming up. It's a time to protect your belief, not just by living your life peacefully in Christ, by really helping the person who is trying to turn the U.S. into its right track, to value the Christian faith, to follow Jesus Christ, to glorify the Creator God, who has only created two sexes, male and female, man and woman.